Things you would know if you were a vegetarian going keto. Then there's the ketogenic diet, that high-fat and ultra-low-carb way of eating, which conjures up images of bacon, burgers and butter. Some claim that it can help you lose weight, improve cholesterol levels, improve blood pressure and help manage blood sugar levels, though there is little science to support these claims. But can you combine these two diets? Put another way, is a low-carb vegetarian keto diet even feasible? Vegetarian keto is doable. It'll require more brainpower and planning than the typical ketogenic diet, though, so we're going to walk you through what you can eat and then outline some common pitfalls and what to watch out for. This list of what to eat will get you started. Think lots of veggies, like the zoodles pictured above, with proteins and some fruit mixed in. Plant-based fats. Avocado and its oil, coconut and its oil. Steer clear of any sweetened coconut, though, olives and their oil. Low-carb vegetarian proteins. Tofu, seitan and tempeh. Although tempeh is higher in carbs than tofu and seitan, it's also high in fiber, so the net carbs, aka the total grams of carbs minus the grams of fiber, make it keto-friendly. Be cautious of faux meat burgers, bacon, etc., and read their ingredient lists and nutrition labels, as they may contain added sugar or be an unexpected source of carbs. Low-carb veggies. Of course there's cauliflower, but there's also zucchini, Swiss chard, mushrooms, asparagus, celery, spinach, bok choy, broccoli rabe, rapini, cabbage, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts and lettuces, arugula, green and red leaf, endive, romaine, etc. All nuts are solid choices when you're eating vegetarian keto, but some are higher in fat and lower in carbohydrates than others, such as pecans, macadamias, pili nuts and hazelnuts. You really can't go wrong here. Seeds are high in fat, low in carbs and typically full of fiber, which can bring down the net carbs in your meal or snack. Dairy. Full-fat plain yogurt and plain cottage cheese. Avoid flavored high-sugar varieties, hard cheeses and butter. Eggs. This is arguably the easiest, healthiest and most complete way to get protein if you're eating vegetarian keto. Eggs also give you a nice dose of fat and have practically no carbs whatsoever. Berries. Strawberries, raspberries and blackberries are all lower-carb fruit choices, not because they're low in carbohydrates, but because they're packed with fiber, so your net carbs are low. You'll probably want to skip blueberries, though. A cup will eat up nearly all of your daily carb allotment. And, as important as it is to come up with a list of foods you can eat, to be successful on a vegetarian ketogenic diet, you may also want a list of foods you can't eat, i.e., those that will throw you out of ketosis state. Those are beans and lentils, aka legumes, grains, most fruits, and all varieties of potatoes. These foods are super nutritious and can absolutely be part of a healthy eating pattern, but they are higher in carbs, which the keto diet strictly limits. The main reason a vegetarian keto diet is so challenging is that many of the staples of a vegetarian diet are high in carbs, particularly foods like beans, lentils and whole grains that vegetarians rely on for protein but are also higher in carbs than the keto diet allows. Another speed bump is that vegetarians already need to be mindful of falling short on key nutrients, such as vitamins B12 and D, iron, zinc, calcium, omega-3s and even protein. Layering on another restrictive diet like keto will make meeting your nutritional needs much harder. Cutting out breakfast cereal, fortified with B12, legumes and whole grains, for zinc, iron and protein, limits key sources of some of these nutrients. As with any ketogenic diet, there may be unpleasant and unhealthy side effects like constipation, bad breath and keto flu. Search a scientific research database for vegetarian keto, and you won't find much. Most studies are limited to pregnant women with chronic kidney disease who are put on a specific low-protein diet, similar to a vegetarian keto-like diet, in an effort to carry their babies as close to full term as possible. There are a couple of studies, though, that look at low-carb diets and break out whether the protein and fat come predominantly from animal or plant-based sources. Both studies found that eating low-carb and getting most of your fat and protein from plant foods was healthier. The study in women showed it could lower their risk of heart disease, and the study in men showed it could lower their risk of type 2 diabetes. But while these diets were low in carbohydrates, they weren't fully keto. If you are on a vegetarian diet and are curious about keto, the good news is that it's possible to follow a keto diet that doesn't include animal products. But this is a way of eating that requires some upfront planning and due diligence along the way so you don't become nutritionally deficient. And, ultimately, it's best as a short-term diet, not one to stick to for the long haul. With meat and fish off the menu, keto vegetarians must work extra hard to get enough protein. Who cares about protein? Your body does. Protein is arguably the most essential macronutrient. Carbohydrates are not the most essential. If you don't eat carbs, your body synthesizes glucose, the simple sugar needed for brain energy, through a process called gluconeogenesis, primarily from amino acids, the basic building blocks of proteins. Dietary fat is essential, but less essential than dietary protein. We carry around plenty of body fat as backup energy. And though fat is a great energy source, carbs can fulfill that function too. Protein structures every tissue in your body. It provides the raw materials, amino acids, for muscles to grow, wounds to heal, and hormones to form. No other macro can do these jobs. Meat and fish are called complete proteins because they contain the full spectrum of amino acids. You can get the full spectrum of aminos from plant sources, but it's harder, especially on keto, without legumes and grains. If your gut likes dairy, consider yourself a lucky keto vegetarian. Dairy products are rich in protein and a variety of essential fatty acids. Whey protein deserves a special mention. Whey is more easily digested than the other milk protein, casein, and it's more bioavailable too. If you can't do whey protein, turn to soy protein, pea protein, hemp protein, or other plant-based alternatives. But keep in mind that these plant-based proteins have a lower biological value than egg, meat, or whey protein. A vegetarian keto diet can quite easily be achieved by replacing traditional protein sources like meat and fish with eggs, dairy products, nuts, seeds, and tofu. Functional medicine practitioner Dr. Will Cole pioneered the ketotarian diet, a primarily plant-based version of keto that offers a fully vegan option. This typically means relying more heavily on plant-based protein sources like tofu, nuts and seeds, and even tempeh in moderation. Although it can be done, fully vegan keto does come with its challenges. Here's how to stay on top of them. By going low-carb or plant-based, you've already placed restrictions on your dietary choices. Combining the two regimes adds another layer of restriction, which may make the diet more difficult to stick to long-term. To overcome this, ensure you have a range of delicious recipes ready to experiment with. You'll find plenty of those in the Carb Manager app. While it is entirely possible to eat a vegan diet and be healthy, you should be mindful of certain nutrient deficiencies that may occur. The main ones to keep an eye on are vitamin B12 and vitamin D, along with omega-3 fatty acids, plus minerals like iron, zinc, iodine, and calcium. You can cover your bases to a degree by eating a variety of nutrient-dense, colorful whole foods, but it's also important to stay on top of blood work and supplement where necessary. We know that protein is important for a whole host of bodily processes, including growth, repair, and maintaining satiety. Because many plant-based foods are rich in carbohydrates, it can be challenging to remain in true nutritional ketosis on a vegan keto diet while also consuming adequate protein. If fasting is suitable for you, you can experiment with shortening your eating window and extending the amount of time you spend in a fasted state to kickstart your body into using fat as a fuel, potentially making it easier to remain in ketosis. Like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel.